Game 4 of your SFL Week 12 Super Saturday. Set to kick off here at Sports Gamers Online Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The Vultures trying to stay clear of their first ever losing record in franchise history. The Corsairs, meanwhile, trying to chase a fifth win and set their claim further into the playoff seeding. Here with me for the second time this evening in co-commentary is none other than the ever-informed Anthony Ellison. And we've come down a little bit since that first game earlier this evening. What are your keys to this game tonight as game number 2 for us?
I want to see consistency out of both of these teams. Obviously, this is not the records that both of them want to see, but we still got a lot of football left, and they're both fighting just for, it might not be for a playoff, but definitely for pride here. But I want to see Baltimore come out aggressive and Queen City being consistent like they did in those wins they have.
That's Anthony Ellison. I'm Jacob Clarence. That's this evening. We've got Ron Haynes and Justin Reside crunching the numbers for us. Commissioner Cameron Irvine producing for the Virtual Football Network. As always, pleasure to have your company. Let's get this one underway. Queen City on the road with a 4-4 record to receive. Returned up past the 20. Decent yardage there, gets the Corsairs up to the 30. This offense led out for head coach Ryan Davis by quarterback Silas Richardson, John Osmosis, Charlie Baker, and Lars Bizzara. Your backs, Ryan Davis, Bob Wood, Guy Clausen, and Joe Beasley are your receivers. James Matthew Jr. is a tight end. The offensive line, Don Cosmosis, Landon Onham, Kai Pickle, and Demon Pickle. 4 contracted linemen for the Corsairs. Single back off to the right, 3 receivers. There's a single tight end in Matthew Jr. on the line. Richardson hands off to Christensen, hands off up to the middle. John Osmosis, first carry of the afternoon, gets 6.
And Queen City comes in averaging over 111 yards a game on the ground here, and that's what I want to see more of, just running the football. They're establishing it, and it'll open up your pass game for you.
Second carry of the game. Charlie Baker splits the middle and gets this one up past halfway. There's an injury as well. One of the Vultures defenders has come up second best. That's Jeff Melanishin. Not a good start for the Vultures.
And you need your linebackers, and you hope that he's okay, because this Queen City team is going to want to run the football, and Baltimore gives up an astonishing 133 yards on the ground.
Ideal result either for Jeff Melanishin, and announced midweek that he will continue in season 26. The Vultures obviously in their last season here. See how long that injury keeps him out of the contest here. 2 ground plays now. Pass play for Silas Christensen, throws it in the middle. Bob Wood caught for a first down.
And that's just because of the effectiveness of the running game, the first 2 plays. Now the linebackers are looking in the backfield. Didn't see him get right behind. And it looks like he just beat that zone coverage right there. Good throw for a first down.
That's Ryan Davis on the reception. That means he eclipses Joe Beasley as the number 1 receiver in terms of yardage for this offense this season. The City find themselves in Baltimore territory. Toss play on the outside to John Osmosis, and the rookie will pick up a gain of 7. It's been a good campaign for him in his first season in the top flight, approaching 350 rushing yards, so close to that 500 mark that we look for incentive purposes. Second and short now with Baker in the backfield. It's a run for Christensen. He'll get the first down there on the design sneak.
And they feel like with the offensive line that Queen City has, they feel like they can go right after the Baltimore's defensive front. So Baltimore, to counteract that, maybe send some pressure up there and let them get the ball out quicker than they want to.
Back off to the right. Osmosis is going to get the toss play on the outside, shut down by Alvin Mack after a gain of 2.
And good job sniffing that out there, because that looks like that was going to go for a little bit more of the yardage. It's that split back to it's offsetting from the quarterback. So it's an easy pitch, and you're already out to the edge.
Triple again here on second down and medium. Hand up at the middle. Osmosis for a 4th time on this opening drive. Gets a little bit more yardage running behind Cosmos. That's going to trip me up at least once tonight. Be a 3rd down and manageable 4. Baker returns. Bazaar off to the right-hand side of the fullback. Chris to the little shovel pass. It is complete, but not going to get the 1st down. Shot down for a loss of 1. In fact, interesting play calling.
Very interesting on 3rd down right there, especially when you saw Baltimore overload that offensive line. They had 9 people in the box right there. That's when you need to recognize that and check down to something else that's more of a passing.
Joe Garfield, 14 of 17 on the season. Make that 15 out of 18 on the campaign. Queen City with the opening score of the game. It's a 35-yard field goal.
But once again, you can't get mad. Opening drive, you come out and you score, put points on the board. Any points is better than no points at all. But now this is the time for Baltimore to respond.
Garfield will kick it back. Ivory Irvin usually on return duties for this offense. Returned up past the 25 and up to the 30 goes the returner. This Baltimore offense led out by longtime veteran quarterback Jack Wigmore, Johnny Kim, the backup quarterback Warren Murray, David Anderson, T-Roy Gaines, the fullbacks, Ivory Irvin, Reggio De Niro, and Matt Chima, your receivers, Benji Matson, Jackson Roberts, the 2 tight ends, Ray Arnold, Olivia Bleeker, Alden Bleeker, and Jay Arnold on that offensive line, along with Dawn Johnson at the center position. Dropped back by Wigmore on the first play. Has heaps of time, throws it to the outside. It's caught by the tight end in Matson. Gain of 6 on the opening reception, make it 8.
Coming out in the pass-heavy offense here, they're 3rd in the league with most pass plays called, so you're going to see a lot of there. But the thing that they really have, surprisingly, is they have a good running attack.
Into a heavy eye set here. Toss play to the outside, opening carry of the game for Warren Murray. He's going to break this one up past halfway. Warren Murray up to the 40. Still going. He's tackled just shy of the 45.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. When they run the football, they average over 4.4 yards a carry, which is 1st in the league. You're seeing it right there. When your lineman is getting out on field, that's Jay Arnold coming from the guard position to kick out that defensive end and good run for a 1st down.
Puts Murray over 300 yards on the campaign. Been a quiet year from him, all things considered. It's time for him to get going early here in the contest. And off the middle, that's David Anderson with the 2nd punch, and it'll be a straight 10 yards for a 1st down.
Now that time, nothing special. You run right behind your line. You run behind Dawn Johnson. She's the commander of that offensive line, and get yourself a 10-yard gain.
Drop back by Wigmore for in between a pair of defenders, and Ivory Irvin reels that one in.
So as we saw with Queen City on their first drive, when they had 2 1st downs from running, when they did that play action pass, they saw the defense getting caught looking in the backfield. Now we're seeing it on the other side there. Baltimore with some good runs, set up a play action, that passes over.
In the empty again to this pass-first offense. Again starting to project to play that way again. Short throw. 5-yard gain, 2nd catch of the game for Matson.
And sometimes you look at that as like a run play right there. There's a little hitch route. Just get open really quickly and let the receiver run up the field.
Offset eye to the bottom of the bench. Jackson Roberts, the lead blocker. And off straight up the middle. Warren Murray. It's T-Roy Gaines, in fact, on the fullback dive. And he will get 5.5, give it. And they'll be 3rd down and inches upcoming.
And this is why you never judge a team by their record there, because this is a drive that's really looking good for Baltimore. They're doing what they need to, running the football and then passing it when they need it.
Couldn't have been much closer to the 1st down marker. It's a run for the back. It is just shy of the end zone stripe there, marking about a half-yard shy.
And then we are seeing all the running backs there. Now you got Gaines and Murray and Anderson all seeing them on this drive there. And I would keep it on the ground. You have a offensive line that's wanting to push back that defense.
Another handoff to Gaines. Touchdown, Baltimore with the first major score of the game.
And they made that drive look easy. And it was with their running attack. You wouldn't know that they're 20th in the league in rushing with only 80 yards right there, because they went about 60 yards right there on the ground, pushing that Queen City defense back there. And that's a dominant drive to start.
Yeah, again, I mean, Warren Murray, 65 rushing attempts on the season. That doesn't even rank in the top 30. So it's just by virtue of the fact that they are trying to be a pass-first unit this season as that extra point floats through the uprights. Baltimore with a 7-3 win as they chase their third win of the season. An unusual position for this Vultures outfit to be in, as reported in their last season in the SFL. Queen City themselves scored on their opening drive. This kickoff will be returned by Bob Wood up to the 25-yard line. That's where the Corsairs will take over. Can't be too upset if you're Ryan Davis with an opening drive. The third down and medium call with the shovel pass was probably not what he wanted in that situation, but
You definitely want that play back.
Otherwise, some positive signs out there. Backs in Osmosis and Baker, and his player had a reception as well from Christensen on that previous drive. Davis is in motion from left to right. Baltimore though sending extra pressure. He's found Davis in between a pair of defenders and up past the 40 goes number 17. Got to keep an eye on him tonight.
Yeah, and empty backfield. You don't have that much time. The offensive line gave you great protection there. I love it. Little stutter like you're going outside, and then just plant your right foot and just go right inside on that slant, on that post route there. Good catch. Bring it in for a first down.
Mindful, I've got 4 quality receivers that Christensen can throw to. He's going to drop back again, throws it outside, got it over the top of the defender, and it is caught for a significant chunk of yardage. First catch of the afternoon for Guy Clausen.
And you don't really see it a lot in the SFL now. A outside throw there, one-on-one coverage. Trust the receiver can beat that corner on the outside. It looks like it was in the cover 3 and is able to get his hands on the football.
Back into the spread, offset eye. They're going to throw it to the flats. Caught by Baker. She'll get the drag for an 8-yard gain on the outside.
And then you're stretching the field vertically and horizontally. That means that's going to open up, watch Jacob, the middle for that rushing attack, because they're passing it all over the place.
Second and short. Osmosis back in the fold. It'll be Matthew Jr. who gets motion to the outside here. They try and run it in that direction. They do. Osmosis. The lead block didn't get there. He's planted a Baltimore defender in the ground, and he's inside the 15. Great run by the rookie.
And you don't see this in rookies there. It's patience. You recognize that it was supposed to be an off tackle. You saw that the gap was closed, so you bounce it outside and then use your abilities, a stiff arm. What a way to get extra yardage, but I love the patience in the run.
That's a great point there. Just a very patient, calculated run by John Osmosis, previously a fullback in the SFL, called up to be a running back 1 for Queen City in the Major League. Throw, it is towards it. Oh my goodness. How did Baltimore not come up with that? While Elijah Warfield got the last touch on it, and it falls harmlessly incomplete.
I'll tell you this, if they would have got their hands on it, I don't think nobody was catching them, because that was hater. That was going to get you 6.
Send it back off to the right after that near miss for Silas Christensen. Clausen will be moved into the slot. He's their big play guy. Drop back by Christensen. Looks at the direction. It is tipped again twice by two different Baltimore defenders. And another one that could have been turned over.
Yeah, I love the aggressiveness in the secondary there, going up. If you can't get the interception, knock it down. Right there, Vaught with another pass deflection.
City now going into the empty. Drop back by Christensen. Again, the blocking is good. Throws it outside towards the back of the end zone. It is incomplete. Looking for Ryan Davis. Comes up empty.
Back-to-back plays by that strong safety, number 27, Young Vaught. First of all, it was knocking it down in center field. Now in man coverage, was able to knock it down, denying a touchdown. Good job out of Baltimore defense, not giving up a touchdown, just a field goal.
This team's 4 yards closer than the first one for Garfield. And he is 2 for 2, so a 1-point game after 8 minutes of regulation in the opening term.
And that is it's a really not surprising for Baltimore defense. They have extreme talent, but I like how they're not giving up, and they're going to make this really hard for Queen City. And now they get the ball back, and you saw what they did on offense with the running attack. So let's see if Queen City can make the adjustments.
So he returned in the field of play by Mac Chima. Up past the 20, great open field tackle there to prevent that one from going further than the 25. Baltimore will take over. If you're just joining us, opening touchdown of the game on the previous Baltimore drive scored by fullback T. Roy Gaines. 2 field goals, of course, for Joe Garfield there on the Queen City side of things. It's an even game here at Sports Games Online Stadium. Baltimore again in the empty. Queen City in a 4-2 look. Drop back by Wigmore, throws it outside. Got it past the defender. Ivory Irvin past the 40. He's going to be pursued by a corner. Inside the 5-10 touchdown. Ivory Irvin, one play is all Baltimore needed to get their second score.
Once again, you don't take any team lightly in the SFL. I love it. Recognize man coverage. Recognize there was no safety help. So that's just a go route. That means that you're faster than that cornerback, and we saw it right there. What a throw and what a catch to take the lead right there. 1 score strike. You love it.
Eric Belmont's second season in the league. It's one of the more difficult matchups he'll face, and he unfortunately jumped the route there on that occasion and then had a very tall task to try and catch number 10 as he ran all the way home.
And they teach you, if you're a man coverage, you know you have no help. You can't jump that route. You cannot. You have to play it safe, give them cushion, and make the tackle. If not, something like a 74-yard pass will happen.
Returned by Wood up past the 25. So again, Queen City haven't done a whole lot wrong so far, but need to be able to convert those major scores in once they get inside the SFL red zone. Christensen's been okay so far. A couple of questionable throws, but the ground game has been especially impressive. Draw play up the middle. Osmosis, heaps of room. It's 4. And to remind you that Jeff Melanishin is out of the game momentarily. The rest of that Baltimore defense has Robert Brady, Al Walker, Ralph Leopold, and Nate Brown on the defensive line. Frank Smith and Alvin Mack, the other 2 linebackers. Ben Stackenpaper, Elijah Warfield, Roy Towers, and Young Vaught make up the secondary. Into a goal line eye look here. Charlie Baker with Bizarre in front of him. Christensen is going to throw. It's picked by Warfield. It's unfolding in front of Ryan Davis's eyes on the sideline. Christensen had thrown a couple of dodgy throws on the last possession. That one he was not going to get away with.
Oh, wow. I love the play call. They sent pressure, and it's a zone blitz right there. There's nobody. It's just one-on-one coverage. I love how number 48, Elijah Warfield, got off of his man to to jump the route right there. What awareness, a big play for Baltimore. Now you're getting close to the red zone.
Already find themselves inside the 35-yard line. Wigmore is going to throw. And a deep throw is caught by Ivory Irvin. Back-to-back grabs. First down.
And why did that play happen? Look at the center, number 53. Went out of his way, recognizing that he didn't have anybody to block. So what do? You find the next person, and that's exactly what the center did. Gave the quarterback enough time to hit that strike.
Dawn Johnson's had a quality opening quarter here in the middle of that line. Toss play to the outside. David Anderson broke a tackle. Couldn't get past the second, but it's still an 8-yard pickup there as he was shut down by Luke Swift on the outside.
And Jacob, to have somebody like Dawn Johnson, she is the commander of that offensive line. She has a peak awareness to see where the blockers need to be blocked at. I love it. It's phenomenal.
Second and short. Murray, the back again, runs at the defense. Got through a couple of tackles. Belmont's the savior and wraps up Warren Murray inside the 5. But at quarter time, Baltimore are knocking on the door at a potential 21-point lead.
It's like they knew that they needed to calm down with the passing and go to what they're really good at, which is running the football with over 4.4 yards a carry.
Entering the second quarter here at Sportsbet Gamers Online Stadium. Aerial coverage of today's game brought to you by Dags Droneworks, aerial photography and videography service, for real estate, events, marketing, and more. Learn more at dagsdroneworks.com. I'm Jacob Clear. That's Anthony Ellison, Justin Reside, and Ron Haynes on StatsView this evening, right here on the Virtual Football Network. Thrown by Wigmore, touchdown, Ivory Irvin again. In fact, it's Chima this time with the reception. Wigmore's got 2, Baltimore had 3, and it's a 2-score lead for the Vultures.
Baltimore is just having their way. That's a fade route. You saw one-on-one coverage because everybody's wanting to stop the run. It's a simple play call right there. Great throw. Only the receiver can get to that football, and you just see the veteran Wigmore right there just absolutely poised in the pocket.
Extra point, not an issue for Victor Ryan Leg, and Queen City now under a lot of pressure in that turnover. They made quick work of that, Baltimore. Elijah Warfield, that interception off the Silas Christensen pass, and Queen City now find themselves behind by 2 scores. Returned by Bob Wood again up to the 25. He is met sternly by the Baltimore Vultures special teams unit. There's not much you can really say about what Queen City have done. The ground game's been good. Just the passing attack has been a little bit off for Christensen, who's otherwise been excellent this season in his rookie campaign for the Corsairs. He's second in the league. He's, of course, a backup for the Bossier City Steamers in his rookie year. Christensen, toss play the outside for Osmosis, who is shut down at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, I love that. Frank Smith right there, the outside linebacker, sniffing out the play before it can happen. Saw that it was a sweep to his side, just shot the gap.
These are the plays that he just makes. Frank Smith, long-time veteran for this defense. Rollout by Christensen was absolutely belted. It was picked up by Charlie Baker at the back, but they read that like a book.
Oh, that's one of the most scariest plays when you do the rollout. If that lineman doesn't get number 62, just whip.
Bang.
And that's a big defensive end. Robert Brady coming out there not being touched. Yeah, I would fumble the ball too.
Christensen had no chance in that scenario. 3rd and 22. They're going to run it with osmosis. And they'll punt it back to the Vultures. The Vultures are just all over them today.
Yeah, they are just doing everything right this first half here. Just crowding the ball for Queen City. They can't get anything going.
And again, not much you can really do for Queen City. You just can't help the fact that that's just a quality play call. Yeah, I mean, every team calls rollout plays on a week-to-week basis fairly much. And on that occasion, you just have a lineman that slips the block and all of a sudden you've lost 12 yards on a fumble. And
surprising.
Well, it is, considering the records and the fact that Queen City have won 2 straight. Baltimore have lost 4 in a row. Albeit all 4 of those games were on the road. They've been better this season at home. Queen City desperate for a turnover here from their defense. Drop back by Wigmore. Has time to throw, and speak of which, it's intercepted. Going back in the other direction, one of the linebackers has picked it off, and Queen City, my goodness, right when they needed it, it's Duncan Onham who has plucked it and taken it back for Queen City.
Former Nashville tempo right there, just playing, just looking the eyes of the quarterback, staying in that zone. Oh, that's just picture perfect right there, going up at the high point. And that's exactly like you said, Jacob. Queen City needs this. This is something that can give you life to go out there, and the game is now over. You can go and get some points right here.
It's a huge play. Baltimore had all the momentum. And now Queen City have got an opportunity to drag it back to just a single score. Toss play to the outside. Osmosis runs at the defense, gets 9. And it's a solid start.
Yeah, keep that on the ground right there. 9-yard game. Good job by the blocking. I think that was Matthews Jr. on the outside with a good seal block.
Again, their rushing attack has been good so far, Queen City, when they've been able to get to it. Baker now in the backfield. Bizarre's going to lead the way. Baker got jammed up. She'll still get the first down. You feel like that could have been more, but irrespective, a net positive on the play.
Yeah, I was hoping that she was going to be able to bounce it outside because that's where the fullback went, and that was going to be bigger yards. But regardless, first down.
Christensen might be back into this single right formation. They run the toss play to Osmosis here with this one. They're going to motion Guy Clawson to the top. Into that slot position where he's made a career. There will be that toss play again. Osmosis runs straight at them. Swarm of Vultures defenders. Still a 3-yard gain.
And this is fine here. This is your opportunity to get points off of turnovers. You want to just slow things down. Baltimore is very aggressive.
Again in the heavy set. Baker. Handoff. Got caught behind a blocker again. And it will be a no gain on that play. Frank Smith shuts it down, so Christensen will have to force his hand here on a 3rd down and 7.
And must be going through his head the last time throwing the football was an interception. Let's see if it's different results here.
5 receivers plus Matthew Jr. Matthew Jr. went into a block. Bought enough time. What a catch! Inside the 5. What a play, finds Guy Clawson inside the goal-to-go territory.
And knowing that you're about to get hit, you stand there in the pocket at the barrel and deliver a beautiful football. What a catch. That could have been an overthrow catch right there, but once again, that's something that they needed. Queen City needed that first down right there. They needed that interception. Let's see if they can complete this.
Now back in the I form. Hand off to the outside. Baker gets maybe a yard. I don't know if you caught that, but James Matthew Jr. was in the slot, and he actually went back as a pass blocker, and that was what bought Christensen an extra second to throw that pass. An interesting play there. Their number 1 target used to block, essentially. Now run for Christensen. He's got it. Queen City back in the game.
I saw that coming. Defensive line spread out, sawing that center just needed to block to the right, to the left side, so he could just do the quarterback sneak to the right side. Fantastic. That's the way to respond after you got a interception. You get points on the board and you cut the lead down.
Give credit to Duncan on them. They were on the ropes in the first play of the drive for Baltimore. Wigmore throws an interception and they go downfield. Huge catch by Guy Clausen, 5 yards away from the goal line, and then they punch it in with their quarterback in a design sneak, which we've seen before tonight. Just like that, it's back within a single score. Here we were thinking we'd have a calmer second game of the evening here, Anthony. We should have known better. Return up plus the 25 by Mac Cheever. Let's introduce the Queen City defense. That's the last one to get through. Darko Young, Finn Steele, and Robert Cron on the defensive line. Duncan Onham had that interception. He's with Luke Swift and Dexter Jackson as the linebackers. Bentley Bonner, Elijah Quick, Eric Belmont, Alex Marshall, and Justin Reside are your secondary members for the Corsairs. 5.5 left in the second. Baltimore clearly not phased by that interception, going straight back to a passing formation. Benji Matson moved in motion down to the bottom. No extra pressure. Wigmore with a ton of time. Oh my goodness, that was nearly 6 points. Dexter Jackson will want that one back.
You know what? That should be a sign, Jacob. Stop passing the ball right now. You ran the ball. When you got up to this point, 21 points, it's because you ran effectively with the football. Don't go away from that trying to get pass happy. You threw an interception last drive, and you almost threw a pick six there. Just hand the ball off to calm things down.
David Anderson is back out there, but Wigmore will throw again. Under no pressure at all. Another one that was nearly plucked. Alex Marshall that time nearly got 2 hands on it.
And Queen City, they're feeling good. They're jumping the routes. They have to be careful. Baltimore is airing the football out, but they're throwing it in this zone coverage as Queen City is playing, and they're ball hawking it.
I think it was Elijah Quick on that last pass deflection. 3rd down and 10. Wigmore has to get him out of here. Throws outside, wide open. Irvin, he dropped it. Forced from behind by Belmont. Bonner rather on that. I'm going to get these corners right at some point. But a huge play. This inexperienced secondary with 3 straight plays will force Baltimore to punt.
And guess what? They're going to get the ball back here, and they're down by 2 scores, but they can cut the lead down with another successful drive.
Punt will be returned by Bob Wood up past the 30 to the 33. Well, Christensen was clinical on that last drive. The ground game again settled for Queen City. Osmosis has been good.
Yeah, and they're staying calm and level-headed after Baltimore jumping out to an early, big lead. They're just chopping away at it.
And you go to the bunch, down to the bottom. Guy Clausen at the top. He's been the hot hand so far today. Hand off straight to Osmosis. Got jammed up at the line of scrimmage and shut down after a gain of 1 by Nate Brown. Again, you're confused as to what Baltimore are doing, but this is what they've done all season. They have been a very pass-first offense, and it just hasn't worked out for them in season 24, trying to do something a little bit different to what they've been known to do in previous seasons, and still projects to be the case tonight. Meanwhile, Queen City are just chopping away at it, but that's not going to get any further than the line of scrimmage. Nate Brown, in fact, it was Frank Smith there back-to-back, and it's shut down again. Queen City have to convert the first down here to try and keep their offense on the field.
Yeah, and 38 last drive, they came up with a big play to Christensen. Let's see who's going to catch it this time.
Joe Beasley moved in motion. He led the team in receptions before tonight. That one, great deflection. Covering the flats there was Frank Smith, who gets that one away from Ryan Davis, and it'll be punted back to the Vultures.
I think that's the same play that Guy Clausen caught for that first down. And this time, what did Baltimore do? They made the adjustment, and they was there to make sure Ryan Davis didn't catch that ball.
Punt by Garfield, fielded 35 away. Marked at the 33 by Irvin, so Baltimore get it back virtually as quickly as they lost it. Turning into a good game here at Sports Gamers Online Stadium. Coxley is hanging around. The Vultures another opportunity to get points on the board, but they are sticking with this pass-first offense, you feel. For better or for worse. See if they change the script ever so slightly in this next possession. Straight into the empty, doesn't appear to be so. Wigmore's going to call Irvin away, so they're all stacked on that right-hand side, apart from Jackson Roberts down the bottom. Throw across Irvin, up past halfway.
They're going to live and die by this pass attack. Yeah, I mean, they call the third most passing plays. They like to air it out. They feel confident in their receivers, and then they're showing right there. Overload to the right, do a clear out so you can have somebody go dive over the middle.
Irvin is 4 of 7 for 116, including that 74-yard receiving touchdown. Jackson Roberts moved outside in motion. Drop back, Wigmore rolls out into the pocket. It's, oh man, found De Niro in traffic, but there was a Queens City defender that seemed to go straight through his hands like it teleported, and De Niro spots it in midfield.
That safety read it extremely well. No, that was the corner. That was number 27, Elijah Quick. Just wasn't quick enough to get to the ball, undercut it, perfect, but just mistimed it. And that is fortunate for Baltimore. That's a big first down.
Inside the 30, knocking on the door of the SFL red zone. Wigmore throws it again, it's picked! One too many passes from this Baltimore offense. Onum's got a second.
And this is just crazy defense right here. Playing that quick slant like it was nothing. Got up at the highest point. Second interception so far for Queen City. In Baltimore, I don't know what you're doing. You can run the football here. Why are you shooting yourself in the foot? Now Queen City, momentum on your side. There were less than 3 minutes left in the half.
Duncan Onum hadn't had a career interception before tonight. He's now got 2 in his second season in the league. Throwing poor Guy Clausen. He was never going to get that. There was tons of black jerseys in the area there.
And for Duncan Onum, it's just recognizing that that's your zone area and you're passing it off to the next defender and just ready and reading the eyes of the quarterback. Phenomenal interception.
Into the 5 wide. So both of these offenses happy to throw it here. Great read. Christensen got it outside for a 15-yard gain. It's better service. Bob Wood with that reception.
And I love it. He moved the safety over, looking at Ryan Davis on the left side, and then went back to the right for Bob Wood for a really good throw.
I love those double cross plays where get that mismatch in the secondary. Worked on that occasion. James Matthew Jr. motioned to the other side of the line. We'll go back to the ground. John Osmosis shut down. Loss of 1.
And I think it's just the evolution of football for the SFL and just football in general is passing the football. Because the running the football is a lost art, but it does such effectiveness if you do it.
2-minute warning here. Queen City football chasing the Baltimore lead. into the ice spread here under the 2-minute warning. Queen City with all 3 timeouts in their pocket. Hand off to the fullback. Gain of 2 there for Charlie Baker in at that spot.
Big third down coming up here.
They need 8. That run gain 3. The first Osmosis carry in the set of possessions. Went for a loss of 1. G. Frey was... Oh my goodness, what a grab. I was paying attention to the defensive lineman and Nate Brown who got motioned to the outside and nearly got to Christensen. In the end, Silas has found Ryan Davis for a first down.
Yeah, I was looking at that defensive end that moved at the last second and just beat that right tackle. But what a way to stay in the pocket. He was going to take a hit and threw a beautiful football.
Robert Brady is giving them some headaches here at the moment. Another drop back by Christensen, throws it over the top. It's incomplete, almost picked off. And the defensive back there in coverage that nearly had a shot at it. And in the end, it falls away incomplete.
I just feel like every time I feel like both teams can get these interceptions, I see the ball tipped in the air, I just get nervous for them. Right here, you got to think about your time. You got 3 timeouts.
A minute 10 with the clock stopped after that incompletion. Christensen intercepted. Ben Stacking Paper gets it at halfway.
Throwing it in the double covers too many times can lead to trouble, and that's what we saw right there. Double coverage. It's a cover 2. He waited, passed it off to the person behind, and just sat in that flat route. When you thought it was going to be open, nope. That's a dangerous throw, and you just didn't see the defender here. Turnover for Queen City. Now Baltimore, you can do some damage here and pull the lead out.
2 turnovers apiece, a minute and change left on this opening half clock. Baltimore with half of the field to cover to try and get another score on the board here before the half is out. Remembering that they themselves will get the opening second half kickoff. Throw caught, Irvin, first down, timeout.
Good catch, good timeout right there, I like it. Quick slant to get you the first down here, and then, you got to get down. Now think about throwing to the outside. You got 2 more timeouts. You need to save 1 for your kicker.
Ravens having a quality half, 5 for 127. Now on the afternoon, Warren Murray motioned to the backfield. Wigmore, Murray was a blocker. It's caught. High point of the football, that was Matt Chima. First down, they'll call the second of the 3 timeouts.
Another 3-step drop, get the ball out the hand. What a way to catch that in traffic. You was going to take a hit. I like these 2 plays from Baltimore.
Wigmore now finds himself inside the Queen City 30-yard line. Another drop back. Blocking is good. Thrown into double coverage. It is incomplete. Irvin could not hang on to that one.
Well, that stops the clock. But definitely you want to be throwing the football out of bounds or to the outside.
Go for it again here in the empty once more. Queen City might bring pressure on this occasion. They do. Thrown all through Luke Swift's hands. Chima is almost through. Give him a first down. They will burn their final timeout.
Just missed the knockdown there, but what a way to catch it, turn up the field, broke a few tackles. Now you're inside of the 20-yard line here. Just got to be careful. Keep your eye on the clock.
4 wide, single tight end on the right-hand side. Drop back again by Wigmore. Had pressure, Matson at the goal line. They hold him up. Baltimore have to rush it back. 35, do they snap it? Wigmore will throw. End zone, picked! Queen City have got the stop. Huge play. Justin Reside at the goal line.
Oh, that's the last thing you want to do is throw it in. You could have just ran the football. What happened to the running game that we saw in the first quarter right there? Queen City stops you from scoring right at the end of half, and you about to get the ball back there. You didn't need to force that.
He's sitting next to us doing stats now. The stats book just got thrown. The booth is shaking. Queen City with a huge play on the strike at halftime. Christensen's going to go throw himself, and it will be incomplete. His second half not settling just yet.
It's like the back and forth that you don't want to see. It's the back and forth with the interceptions and the mistakes from both teams here, and hopefully they can clean this up in the second half.
Again, 3 for Baltimore, 2 for Queen City. 25 seconds to go. Do they calm things down here? They will run the toss again out of this formation. Osmosis beats the first defender, not the second. Nailed by the linebacker that's covering for Jeff Melanish, there after a gain of 2. They won't stop the clock. See if they snap one more play here. Do have a bunch down the bottom. 5 seconds to go. Christensen will snap, rolls out, throws early, caught James Matthew Jr. in midfield. That will end the opening half. Queen City with an 8-point deficit at halftime, chasing a Baltimore advantage.
Ooh, what a first half right here. It was so back and forth between both teams, and now you're just sitting here wondering what's the adjustment that either team is going to do, because that's what's going to be counting for going into the third quarter here is the adjustments. Can Baltimore get back on the running game to slow things down? And Queen City, you're still in it. You're getting the interceptions and the turnovers that you need. Now you just need to put it together on offense.
Plenty to talk about after that opening half here, but it's a Baltimore advantage. At halftime, 21 points to 13. You'd imagine that Ivory Irvin will be your player of the half here from the broadcast perspective, but worth noting as well, of course, that Duncan Onham has those 2 interceptions that have really kept Queen City in the game, along with that goal line interception by Justin Reside at the end of the half. Irvin with 5 for 127 and a 74-yard receiving touchdown is your player of the half. Baltimore leads this one 21-13. Back here at Sports Gamers Online Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm Jacob Clear. That's Anthony Ellison, Justin Reside, and Ron Haynes in the stats booth. Richard Cameron Irvine back producing, as always, for the Virtual Football Network. Pleasure to have you company here. Week 12 action. Baltimore chasing a 3rd win to try and steer clear of their first ever franchise losing record. Queen City looking for a 5th win to keep in the playoff hunt down the stretch. They would love to walk out of here with a winning record. Baltimore, after a no return, will set up shop here 20 yards away from the goal line. Wigmore again in this empty set. They have steered very clear of the ground game, particularly in that second quarter. For better or for worse, they are in the lead, but those 3 turnovers do stand out. Drop back by Wigmore. Throws caught. It is up at the 40 goes Arijo Donero. In fact, it's Chima there with that first catch, 20 yards on the fly.
Yeah, and they're sticking with this overload to the left there. This time around, instead of throwing it to the outside, looked out and then went right back into that slant route. It's kind of like a drag route towards the middle. And a good catch.
Spotted at the 39. Wigmore in a shotgun. There's both his tight ends out there. 3-step drop back. Caught Irvin. One-on-one coverage was good enough there on that occasion, but Irvin still held on.
Yeah, that's a bang-bang play. And Irvin just came down with it, knowing that safety was waiting to hit you. But the trust in your receivers, that's what Wigmore has right now.
Again, tough matchup for the sophomore Eric Belmont. There, matched up with Ivory Irvin. One of the league's best ever. And Irvin again. Double coverage He reels that one in. Wigmore, perfect on the drive so far.
It's a gamble, and this time you throw it in the perfect Bermuda Triangle. You throw it right between three defenders, and this is what you live and die for if you're Baltimore, is the touchdowns or the interceptions.
155 for number 10 now. Another drop back by Wigmore. Throws across his body, tipped and nearly intercepted, I should say. It was Belmont who had the first touch.
And there's your gamble. That also can happen. You didn't see somebody sitting in the flats waiting for that curl route. You're just focusing on the 3-step drop. You gotta be careful. You gotta look. Queen City's gonna throw some different zone coverages at you.
Bentley Bonner's second pass deflection, that one off the hands of the receiver in Irvin. It was Luke Swift who got that play. Now 3rd down and long. They are in field goal range.
You're in field goal range. You don't have to do anything crazy. They've been focusing on this 3-step drop, getting the ball out of the hands quickly. Just be careful of those flat routes that the coverage 2 is doing on Queen City.
Irvin in the slot now. Wigmore sends it deep, incomplete. Another one that Queen City could have come away with. There's Alex Marshall. It's a hand on that one. And it will be, you would imagine, a field goal attempt here for Caleb Richards. Not Caleb Richards, rather Victor Ironleg. In fact, no, they will punt it away. Deemed outside of his range.
I don't know about that.
Queen City with a stop in the end. And that punt will sail out of bounds at about the 10.
All right, Queen City, let's see what you got here. You stopped them, held them to a punt. You're still down by 8. Let's see if you can cut the lead.
Tony Bowers punt spots them inside the 10. Queen City sticking with the pass first offense as well. Both of these teams keen to sling the ball today. Christensen will drop back to throw. Pressure all over him. Got out of the first one and nearly intercepted. It should have been. Frank Smith had 2 shots at it and he's dropped it cold.
Oh, first getting out of the sack, that's the tough thing to do. And then just letting it fly and almost got an interception out of it. Ooh, dodge a bullet. That's exactly what happened.
Dropped that one like a bad habit, Frank Smith. Queen City get away with one. They're going to toss it to Osmosis on the outside. He's got room, and he's going to get 8. That's a crucial play by John Osmosis. They've run that toss play maybe 8 or 9 times, and it's resulted in either maybe a 3-yard gain or an 8 or 9-yard gain for John Osmosis. And he continues to plug away, and then they go back to this heavy set. Bizarre is the fullback. Junior in motion. They will run the sneak again. Christensen jammed up. They're going to give him the first down. I don't think he was anywhere near the first down marker.
I throw the challenge flag. Like, we can see that in live reaction. I don't think he got there.
I don't even think the Queen City bench would argue with that. We'll get another look at it, but it looked like Christensen was at least a yard shy of that first down marker. A nervous Ryan Davis watches on.
I appreciate the quarterback sneak. See, the thing is, to overturn this, Jacob, you got to have clear-cut evidence that he didn't cross that first down marker. And it looks like he didn't because the ball's on his right side.
No surprises there, unfortunately. Even John Osmosis in the chat echoing the sentiments. Not quite good enough there on that 3rd down and short attempt, so with 4th down. And they will take no chances here and punt it straight back. will be returnable for Irvin, run straight into the special teams coverage. And you're right, that sneak has worked twice for them today. It's been a touchdown play, in fact, for Queen City. Their only touchdown on the board today was a rushing touchdown by Silas Christensen.
It's really hard to defend that, so good job by Baltimore recognizing it early that it was a quarterback sneak.
Straight back into the empty, both tight ends, along with all three receivers. Jackson Roberts is going to be in the slot here. He might be a target of his size. Wigmore has time to throw, throws outside. Wigmore gets it to Irvin again. That connection is faultless.
And I love what Irvin did. Irvin sat down in a open area of that zone, and it was right after he got past that cornerback. I love it. And then turned and showed his hands to the quarterback, and good job throwing it over the corner.
In the gun now. Same package. Rolls out, throws short. Irvin can't hold on that left. It was Matson there on that occasion. Dexter Jackson with the pass coverage.
It's been very interesting, Jacob. We haven't seen a running play from Baltimore since the first quarter, and that's the last time they scored points was in the first quarter.
Certainly been a one-dimensional approach from Baltimore today. Again throws an outside. Irvin in a one-on-one situation, and the pass was behind him there on that occasion. Couldn't quite get free, so Eric Belmont's responded well to that matchup over the last few minutes. A third down and long. Just under 7 minutes to go. In the third, that is. 4 wide, plus a tight end in the empty again. Drop back. Throws. Incomplete. Was looking for Denaro. Nothing doing. Queen City's secondary shuts it down. They're not in field goal range. Queen City will get the football back.
And just from the side, what a way to time that perfectly and knock the ball loose.
This punt will be spotted inside the 10. Another good one from Tommy Powers. It'll be at the 9 is where it will be fielded. Queen City with football again. No scores yet in this second half. 3 punts to start the third term. Osmosis the single back on the right. Toss play again. The downfield blocks get there. Osmosis with a stiff arm. Trying to get through the second defender. Give him the first down.
Great run by the Ricky. Recognizing that somebody was closing the gap through the stiff arm and then threw it again and then able to fall forward for a first down. That's a good solid run to start the drive.
His 17th carry, 75 yards on the evening for him. Getting him close to 400 yards on the season. In fact, I think he's eclipsed that now. Another toss play on the outside. It's Osmosis again. Spins away. Charlie Baker up to the 5th. To the 25, I should say, rather. And they're going to give her 9.5. Again, that toss play has been money for them today.
Yeah, it's because the outside, that tackle and that tight end, they're making great blocks on the outside, and they're not getting touched until a couple yards down the field. And good job by Baker with the spin cycle.
Go back into this heavy goal line. Eye set, hand off on the outside. Oh my goodness. John Osmosis has absolutely leveled a Baltimore defender. Would love to get another look at that.
That was a dynamic 1-yard run, I'll tell you that.
The best 2-yard run you'll ever see. 3 wide, fullback dive for Baker. They've ran that before. And we had 2-yard gain.
And you see, Jacob, this drive, Queen City is just staying on the ground, recognizing that they were doing a little bit too much passing for their liking. get these positive yards on the ground.
John Osmosis has been the go-to. He's back out there, but it will be a throw by Christensen. Throws across. Oh, great job. Well done. Elijah Warfield gets it out of the midst of Ryan Davis at the last possible second.
Oh, I thought that was going to be a dime. Dropped it over into the breadbasket for Davis, and then the corner came in at the last second and just jarred it loose.
We're down at 8 for Christensen. Bunch to the left. Have to convert this one. Rollout. Has time. Christensen throws across his body. Again, Davis is the target. And again, it is covered brilliantly.
And this Baltimore defense has shown resilience, and they're playing solid pass defense on this Queen City Corsairs team.
Punted back again. With the 4th straight punt of the 3rd term. Remind you of anything, Ann? I'm getting deja vu.
Yeah, and I'll take it. It's enjoyable. But right now,
the way that our first game ended after the 3rd quarter was there was 10 punts in that 3rd quarter of the Vancouver DC game. It's projected to be very similar here, not quite to the volume, but that game ended in a very turbulent fashion. Perhaps this one will do the same. Throw caught. Mac Chima, 1st down and change.
I got enough left in my voice for a 4th quarter like we saw earlier this game. Good job on there. They're sticking with this empty gun set, and they're just recognizing Wigmore is going to get the ball out of his hand on that 3rd step, because if you hold it for too long with no pass protection, nobody helping you block in the backfield, it can be trouble. So good job by Wigmore.
Wigmore again in an empty. Drop back throw. Incomplete into heavy traffic. I just checked the numbers. They have not run the ball since the end of the 1st quarter. We are now 4 minutes left in the 3rd, and they have not run the ball since their 2nd drive of the game.
It's like they just keep skipping it when it's like, all right, let's run the football. Now, they got to run it back in the backfield.
David Anderson is back there. I might have jinxed it. Yes, I have. Toss play to Anderson, and they will run the football, and it'll get about 4 there on that carry. It's the 2nd time I've called the turnover before it happened for Queen City on the first Duncan on an interception. Now I've called that run play.
I know Queen City was caught off guard when they saw somebody in the backfield. Look, no more passing it.
3rd down along the hat to in this situation. It's caught in between a pair of defenders. Between the numbers is Mac Chima again for a 1st down. Baltimore keeps it moving.
Nice big looping in route, and just waited till they got right in the middle. And that is a tough throw, Jacob, because you're throwing it in heavy coverage, but there's just a small window that Shaman got in there to get the catch.
Getting the empty. Wigmore rolls out. It's incomplete. Oh, half chance there for Justin Reside on his opposite number. It falls away incomplete.
Yeah, I think both of them was decided for 2 different reasons. An interception because they jumped the route Reside, or that touchdown that there was nobody behind him.
Warren Murray again used as a receiver. Dropped back by Wigmore. Time, he'll run it himself. Breaks a tackle, slides, gets 7.
I don't mind that at all. The pressure was barreling down. Instead of running behind or to the side, steps up and ran forward for positive yards.
Goodness, my eyes deceive me. They're running I form. They'll throw. Wigmore, incomplete, overthrew it. That was the right read, but Jackson Roberts was over his head. Hard to miss him, but Wigmore managed to do it, and they are inside field goal range. They punted before in a similar situation, and they'll do so again.
You got to give your kicker a chance. Like, the long the long form this season, if I'm not mistaken, is like 49 yards. That's in the range.
Tommy Powers hasn't done a whole lot wrong because he spotted them inside the 10 once again. But and in fact, that may be an incentive for young Tommy Powers. I think you only need 2 to get the bank investment. But he's now had 3 inside the 10 or closer. There must be a gust of wind or something of that nature out there because they really do not want to get Victor Ironleg out there for a field goal attempt, and they're content with the 8-point lead as it is. Queen City yet to really threaten it. Toss play the outside. Osmosis had downfield blockers, and it's shut down at the line of scrimmage.
Well, I mean, if you look at it this way, you punt the football back-to-back times. They're punting it and pinning them inside the 10-yard line, and Queen City has not shown that they can get past the 50-yard line.
Pitch to the right-hand side. Draw play. Baker had room, but Alvin Mack was on there on the spot after a gain of 5 or 6. Third down and 4. Osmosis off to the right. Do they run the pitch again? They do not. They'll throw. Christensen under duress. He runs. He's lost it. Picked up by the Corsairs. Running downfield is Bizarre. What a play. Lars Bizarre with one of his best career efforts.
As that was written up as planned. Scramble, fumble the football, recover it, and then keep on running. That's definitely in the playbook, I'll tell you.
What a pickup by Lars Bizarre at his ankles. Saves the day and then turns it into a positive play. If you look at that on the play sheet.
Looks like a positive yard.
Bunch off to the right. Hand off straight up the middle goes Osmosis. He's going to try and drag the corner for a ride. Give him 3.
Yeah, Jacob, what I'm seeing is a lot of wacky stuff. So let's hold on. Let's see how this fourth quarter is going to look.
Something in the water for our game style. My goodness. This game's projected to be as chaotic as the first one was. Spread receivers, hand off to the fullback. It's Baker. And Baker did more than probably what we expected her to, given the pressure that Baltimore sent. It'll be a 3rd down and 3.
Big 3rd down here. We need Queen City wants to stay on the field. They got to do whatever they need to. Osmosis is running the ball really well with getting yards after the contact.
Inside a heavy set again. Beasley will be motioned. We get another 1st down here. They will run a shovel again. They have gone to it again, and it's worked for a 2nd time in Baltimore's favor. And the Vultures will get off the field. Time to remove that one from the playbook, right?
Yeah, it's the 2nd time. Like I said, they are anticipating that play. I understand it. It's like you're inviting them in, and then you're just handing it to the running back. But good job by Baltimore staying disciplined and staying at home.
I must admit, I've ran it a few times. Not in a heavy set, but Almond Kopak has been known for the shuffle pass for a few seasons. Irvin breaks a tackle, and he was shut down there, but up and halfway. That's a really good punt return.
Yeah, got to that outside. Good blocking by the return here. Broke the tackle. Get close to the 50-yard line.
It's something in practice you don't see that shovel pass in Sims. You leave it in there, there's a chance it gets called. You never really know what's going to happen with full accuracy, and they've seen it twice now today, but to no success. The Vultures now with another opportunity to drag it clear. You feel a 2-score advantage might be insurmountable if they can get it. Throwing between the numbers, it's caught by Warren Murray for a 1st down.
Oh, nice little. I love the Texas route here by Warren Murray. You know, recognize that you are lined up past a linebacker and then just right in the middle, open. Good run by the running back.
3-quarter time here at Sports Gamers Online Stadium. Baltimore leads this one 21 points to 13 over Queen City. Big fourth quarter upcoming. Queen City hanging in this one by a thread. I'm Jake Clear. That's Anthony Ellison. And stats this evening, Justin Reside and Ron Haynes. We're watching the Simulation Football League on the Virtual Football Network. Chima in motion. They have got 3 plus a tight end stacked to the left-hand side. We've seen this so much tonight. It is incomplete. A response defensively from the Corsairs.
And the Corsairs are getting a lot of practice against this passing formation because they're running it a lot. That time they was able to get there to knock the ball away.
Whitmore again in the empty. I suppose we should really expect nothing else at this stage of the game. They're going to motion Murray to the backfield. Will be another passing play. Thrown short, caught by Murray. Broke a tackle. Tried to get past the second, but Bentley Bonner was there to shut that one down. Finally got that call right. And it'll be a 3rd down and short 3 for the Vultures. They will go back to the ground, you think, here with David Anderson lined up the backfield. Irvin is the receiver. It'll be hand off to Gaines, who hurdles the man. Gets inside the 25. T-Roy Gaines has come up big again. He's had 2 touches. One of them's been a touchdown. The second, a crucial 3rd down conversion.
And now we're starting to see it pick up once again in the 4th quarter, Jacob. Another a good run. Oh, we have missed seeing the running game. Maybe they only run the ball in the 1st and the 4th quarter.
Back to the empty. Wigmore throws outside court. Short route of 3. Again, Cam Irvine back in SFL HQ just reminding us that this game had all punts in the 3rd quarter like our first game tonight. Again, referring back to that Vancouver DC. If you haven't watched that game yet, go back and watch it. That's one of the games of the season. And this one tracking to be similar. Toss play the outside. Warren Murray open space. Shut down Dexter Jackson after only a 2-yard gain. 3rd down and 5. They are certainly inside Victor Ironleg range now.
Yes. Big there now.
Barring a turnover, not to will it into existence a second time, Baltimore should extend this out beyond a single score. They are going to throw for it though. Wigmore throws, end zone, caught in between a pair of defenders. Ivory Irvin a brace, and Baltimore might have sealed this one away.
You have to put zip on a pass like that to throw it. It looks like you throw it through the hands of the first defender, but you're finding your target that you really enjoy, Irving. And what a throw here. Things are coming to life for Baltimore in the 4th quarter. That's the way to start it.
8 minutes left in the game. The pressure is now firmly on the Corsairs. 61 yards of offense in the second half. They need to get moving. Now down by 2 scores, including one of which would have to be a 2-point conversion.
All right, Queen City, you are only mustering 61 yards this half alone. That's not enough. You have to double that and double it on this drive.
Again, they have the playmakers to do it. You know, the likes of Ryan Davis, Guy Clawson. Joe Beasley's been quiet tonight. Before we get into it, let's check in with what I believe is a double-headed game update from SFL HQ. Do I hear?
Yeah, if you think your night's going bad, how about Arizona's? 3 minutes to go in the 4th. They're down by 1. Washington fakes the punt, doesn't convert, but they're called for roughing the passer, which extended the drive. Flash forward 2 minutes, Arizona fakes a punt themselves, down 1 with a minute to go, and ended up losing 20-16. Washington victorious. The West is a mess. Back to you.
Oh my goodness. I've never seen the fake punt where they run. I know it exists, but I've only seen the pass. My God,
like
what a ending to that game.
That shouldn't be a thing, but this is just a wacky evening in SFL.
That one, unfortunately, you can't remove from your playbook that I know of. Of course, there's after an incomplete pass, 2nd and 10. Out of the air again, Christensen has time, throws across his body. That is caught, Ryan Davis. Up past halfway to the 40, nearly broke that last tackle. That would have been money. House call by Ryan. But instead, he's upended at the 45.
I love the awareness to not run out of bounds, but to run up the field, keep your feet in bounds, get all the extra yardage, and like you said, almost broke it or a touchdown.
Ankle tackle at the end there was crucial in preventing that from being 6 points on the second play of the drive, irrespective. Of course, there's now inside Vulture's territory again. The ground game will return. It's a run for Baker. Give her 7. Let's give things a chance to settle here. Under 7 minutes to go. Plenty of time for the Corsairs. And this drive has started hot. Christensen a run by himself. The sneak this time works. Gets them the first down.
The sneak worked, but he fumbled the last time on that drive before, so you definitely want to slide.
30 to go. 3 wide. Hand off Osmosis on the end around. They will get 5 on that carry. So they're slowing it down just a bit. Don't mind it. Still got 6 minutes on the clock. And they one score. You imagine they would kick it long because of the situation here. And get the football back again. Throw to the flats, caught by Baker. She's got room. Up past the 10. Charlie Baker inside the 5. Stopped at the 2. Brilliant play call by Ryan Davis on the sideline. Baker has them inside, goal to go.
And you've been seeing the spin move by Charlie Baker all game long, and she is just doing a phenomenal job. Stayed in bounds, and now we're on the goal line, 1st and goal.
As Moses checks back in, he's the man to finish these drives off. 2 to go. And off outside. Osmosis wide open. Touchdown. Queen City in with a sniff.
If you thought things were comfortable for Baltimore, nope. Queen City is going to stay in there. And now with a run, we was waiting for Osmosis to get into the end zone. Beautiful follow behind your linebackers and your fullback, and you didn't get touched whatsoever.
Miles Bizarre has had a quality game. Had that lead block there. And saved the day with that Christensen fumble. Just like that, Queen City back in it. And they'll be able to kick it long on this next position as well. And to a team that has turned the ball over quite a bit tonight. We guys had 3 interceptions. I mean to say there is they've got an opportunity to either get a turnover or a very quick 3 and out if they get a few pass deflections. Irvin will return it. Chima up to the 25. Wrapped up there, and Baltimore will bring it out. Queen City backup tight end has gone down on special teams.
Yeah, right now it could be cramping. Let's hope everything is okay, because you'll definitely need it coming down the end of the game.
This is a wild storyline, and I don't want to keep bringing it up, but again, akin to our first game, all punts in the 3rd quarter. You start the 4th quarter, back-to-back touchdowns. Where have we seen that before tonight? There's something in the water this side of SFL HQ. I don't know if it's Cam's system or if it's us broadcasting. Either way, we've seen very close games. Oh my goodness, Ivory Irvin again.
And the thing is, they're going to keep throwing the football, and if they're making plays like this, it's going to be game over for Queen City. But like you said, I'm not trying to jinx anything. Wigmore will put it up there for grabs for that defense. So let's hope that he can just make secure passes and mix in some runs.
Double century for Ivory Irvin tonight. 45 yards away from their own goal line. Handoff to David Anderson, shut down for a loss. Luke Swift blows that one up.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely going back in the air. They tried it. They said, hey, we heard you, Ant. We'll run the football. It didn't work. Now we're about to spread it out and chuck it.
All they have to do here is get it into field goal range, but again, this Queen City defense has stood up firm when it's needed to tonight. Chima in motion down the bottom. They're going to stack the left-hand side again. Wigmore. Pressure, gone! Sacked for a loss of 6.
First sack of the game after countless times that we felt like the sack was coming and they were breaking out of the tackle. That time they was able to wrap up Wigmore. I love it. Fake outside, then cut back in. Nice little inside rush move to take down the quarterback. Now it's 3rd and long, and Corsairs is going to be lurking for this interception.
It's Finn Steele's 2nd sack of the season, his 3rd of his career. What a time in which to grab it. Baltimore a long 17 yards to try and keep this drive on the field. Have to just make sure this goes away. Wigmore throws in the middle, up and almost intercepted at the back. Queen City had the better chance of it there. It falls incomplete, and Tommy Powers will have to punt this one away. 3.5 minutes left for the Corsairs.
Plenty of time to get down the field. You have to go for 2. I think so. That'll be the case unless you score really quickly. But this is just going down to the end.
Finally breaks the script we seem to be forming in both games, because the 3rd drive of the 4th quarter in Game 3 tonight was a touchdown. This one here was a punt, and Queen City now have 3 minutes and 20 seconds to take the lead. Remember, they need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, but all of the control now is in their hands.
This is scary because this is the same situation we had in the earlier game. And how did it end? An interception. So let's see if Queen City can rewrite the books and go down and score to try to tie it up.
Drop back by Christensen. Throws deep. It is caught. Ryan Davis, huge again. He was the one that got him started on the last possession. He's got him up at halfway again. Christensen sees something he likes. He's going to go into no huddle. Drops back again, throws across. It is incomplete. Looking for Clausen there on that occasion.
I don't mind the hurry up there. They probably saw something in the defense, and they wanted to keep the defense on the field, so that's why they did a no huddle. When you do a no huddle, you're calling 2 plays in the huddle, and you just go back to back.
Single back off to the right. Drop back by Christensen, has time. It is caught. Clausen, huge. 35-yard line. He's spotted. They go no huddle again. Drop back by Christensen. The tackle missed the block. Doesn't matter. He got it away, but it is incomplete. Looking for Matthew Jr. And it is forced free by Young, Vaught and company at the back.
Yeah, it looks like they're calling 2 plays in the huddle, knowing that they're doing a hurry-up offense because they're going to keep that defense on the field. I don't mind that at all.
Clock stopped at 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Joe Beasley again, yet to have a grab. Led the team receiving yards prior to tonight. Throws. Christensen, oh boy. Thought that was going to be in the midst of Ben Stackenpaper, who already has one tonight. But it is incomplete.
If you can't get to it, knock it down. Good job, Sackmore, to do that here. Now, are we close to 4-down territory if you don't get it here?
Have to go for it, you feel. Got 2 shots at it here, Queen City. A motion, a receiver again. That's Davis that moves into the slot. Christensen, no pressure. Great tip from behind. Stackenpaper, back-to-back plays.
And back-to-back knockdowns right there because just a tiny bit more air on the ball, and that's a 1st down. Good job by the cornerback playing in that shallow flat zone.
Christensen has to convert here. Queen City may not get another chance at it if they are unable to get this one. Drop back. Christensen throws. It is picked. Glosson was the intended target. Back in the other direction. And Baltimore are going to call game.
Just
Roy Towers all the way home. Game, set, bingo. Baltimore have win number 3 and end the 4-game losing slide.
And they have played like this the whole entire game. They came out aggressive in the first quarter, dropping 21 points on them really quickly and playing defense and getting takeovers. And just like we saw in the first game of the day, Jacob, you end the game with an interception. This time it's a pick 6. Fantastic job to bounce back. Baltimore looking to get the 3rd win of the season.
We'll stand with a Victor Ryan leg extra point to make it a 35-20 lead for the Vultures. 2.5 left, so it's a very steep uphill battle now for Queen City. That was their chance, you feel. Didn't quite have the pieces together on offense tonight. This kickoff will be a returnable. Wood jammed up, gets it to the 30.
It's been this has been a very exciting game, Jacob. I'm just impressed with Baltimore. When I didn't think passing ball so much was going to lead to so many points, just because there's been a lot of gambles, but they showed that they're resilient and they can do it without running the football.
This is another 1,000-yard season for Ivory Irvin. Just looking at some of the stats here for him on the campaign. Guy Clausen first down grab. They'll go no huddle with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock. Another throw for Christensen. Great deflection. Stacking paper's been huge in the last 2 minutes.
Just that last drive for Sack and Paper was just phenomenal. Back-to-back pass deflections and eventually forced them to throw a pick 6 on 4th down.
With 90 as well on the other side of the ball. But Ivory Irvin has got 15,000 career receiving yards. He's the 8th receiver all time to pass that number. Worth highlighting perhaps if Baltimore get the football back. And quite a ways to go to get to that number, and he has done it. So congratulations to him in what might be his last season. Ryan Davis with the first down grab. Queen City inside 2 minutes have a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, and you know, I like this quick tempo, hurry up, just get the ball out, and then now you're in a 2-minute warning.
So it's Christensen, a bit of an odd stat line. 250 yards off 17 completions. His 3 interceptions have been really the downer on his afternoon. Christensen will throw again, throws outside. Coulson was overthrown. In fact, it was Beasley on that target.
I appreciate Queen City keep on fighting. I know that it doesn't look good for them. They got to score and hurry, but you know what? It's also about getting in the rhythm for next game.
We'll touch on that in a second because obviously the Corsair season's still very much alive at this point of the season. Christensen rolls out, throws. It is caught in between a Baltimore jumper. It's the first of the 3 timeouts called for Queen City. Back by Christensen, throws caught. Clausen has been good late in the game here. Inside goal to go, and the City will call timeout number 2. 8 yards to go. Still enough time. But touchdown here, and really you need the onside kick if there's any chance of the Corsairs making a comeback here. Not totally home free yet of the Vultures. Christensen convert here. Throws. Oh man, what a catch!
Ooh.
Guy Clausen, right out of the top drawer.
Hey, all I'm saying is anything that happens, especially this is a very crucial play coming up right here. I think that you should go for 2 and then the onside kick.
We'll go for the 2-point conversion now. Christensen throws, it's incomplete. And it might be too hard, too far now.
Yeah, and that was a good pressure, and it was just too many people in that area right there. And, you know, Baltimore might stay, they're safe.
Clausen's 13th career touchdown. An onside kick. Excuse me, recovered by the Corsairs. So, when there's life, there's hope.
Yeah, especially that's a good job kicking it right at the 10-yard marker. Queen City gets the ball back. They need to go. They got to score and do the same onside kick again.
That thing's got to be different if they had converted that 2-point conversion beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Irrespective, you've got to play on what you've got. Christensen throws outside, that's it. Elijah Warfield back inside the 20.
Good effort right there. That's a heck of a play. Just going up at the highest point and taking that ball away, knowing that they're looking for something out of bounds. And once again, to reseal the victory, that's what Baltimore did. And their defense came to play today.
Both units with 4 turnovers apiece. It was Baltimore that were just that bit more clinical when it mattered tonight. But again, good credit to Queen City. They fought for it when it seemed to be totally out of their grasp, and it will end here as outlined on the current scorecard. For the Corsairs, it's a difficult run home. No division games left. But they do have to travel to place the Sin City Samurai next week. That team just beat the Mexico City Aztecs today in a thumping victory. They have Fort Worth back at home and then another road game against the Arizona Scorpions. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, trying to keep their season alive, they'll have a 3rd win, so it means they need to get the 6-6 and win out if they are a chance. They have the benefit of a home game back here against the Washington Trident. They then have 2 division games to end the season. They will travel to Detroit, followed by another game at this stadium against the Pittsburgh Riverhogs to finish up their campaign. Still a lot of play for the Vultures in what is their final season in the SFL. And the hunger to try and finish their tenure off on a good note was showing tonight with a thumping victory over Queen City by the looks of things here.
Doesn't matter how many wins you get, it always feels good when you can come out and you can play better than what people expected for you to do. And that's what Baltimore did. They defied all odds and they passed the football and they made mistakes and they threw interceptions, but they kept going with it. And their defense played a heck of a game.
Victor Ironley finally gets a shot, and they finally let him go out there and kick a field goal. He does convert from 42. And it's a further 3 points onto the board. Nice point there by Thomas Padney. He's one of the oldest rivals in the SFL. First game between these two sides played all the way back, officially recorded in 2011 because that was when the Vultures became an SFL team. But there's been 15 meetings since then. Baltimore will win their 13th game this evening against the Corsairs. Queen City will have possession last. Returning our opponents to 20 to the 22.
That was a good game. We saw very exciting games in the early slot and the evening slot today.
Still lots to look forward to tomorrow. We'll get this last play out here for Queen City. Christensen's going to sling it deep. Hail Mary attempt downfield, almost intercepted by Young Vott. There's second left on the clock. Obviously, Sunday's games, North versus South Carolina. That's with Ramos Lynn and DJ Kilgannon. And of course, we're looking forward to that one. Then Los Angeles will take on the Oklahoma City Renegades on the other side of that block. Then Pittsburgh at Albuquerque, Houston at Lexington. And the Monday Night Spectacular with Cam and Charles between the Denver Nightwings and the Minnesota Legend. Deep throw by Christensen is incomplete. And Baltimore have got the win here. Back at home, they had a 4-game losing slide on the road. They returned back home to get the win, keep the season alive. Anthony Nelson, your thoughts on what we just saw?
We saw Baltimore putting it together, knowing that they can, and having a rich history like they do, to come out and play really sounding defense. And then my game ball goes to Ira Irving with 10 catches, 208 yards, and 2 touchdowns, including that opening 74-yard catch and run in the first quarter that opened the lead up for Baltimore.
Play more football to watch tomorrow, but that wraps up your SFL Super Saturday here on the Virtual Football Network. We'll see you tomorrow starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Again, Charleston hosting Carolina to start off a 4-way slate of games. For Anthony Ellison, I'm Jacob Clear, and the stats tonight was Justin Reside, and Ron Haynes. We say thank you. We'll see you tomorrow on the Virtual Football Network.